The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. 1 Corinthians 15:26. The last enemy, you see, is not some far-off beast to be slain on a distant battlefield, but the worn-out self you call death. It is the shell of old beliefs, the garment of flesh and fear you once wore. Armageddon isn't fought with guns or armies, but in the secret citadel of your imagination, where the living word issues a sharp sword. From your own consciousness, it cuts away every vestige of limitation. When Christ in you, as you awakens, death dissolves. That outer man, bowed by tradition and habit, collapses like a shadow at dawn. You witness the young rising against the old in the streets. Rejoice. It is only the symbol of your true self, the bright morning star, supplanting every external god, every worn doctrine, every dead letter. No longer do you kneel before an idol outside. You stand up in the fullness of I am. Here and now, assume the victory. In your quiet hour, feel yourself eternal. See the grave open, and you walk out alive, clothed in immortal light. Death, the last enemy, has no power once you know you are the resurrection. This is your battle and your triumph, to claim the life that never was born, and so never can die. In exploring the psychological meaning of death, we discover that it represents the final hold of inner resistance, the deep-seated conviction that we are isolated, finite beings bound by limits. As long as this belief remains intact, every conflict, every fear, every sense of loss simply strengthens the old identity and keeps us trapped in its grip. When the teaching describes death as an enemy, it is in fact naming those self-imposed barriers woven from beliefs in lack, limitation, and irreversible loss. By recognizing death in this way, we come to see these fears not as external forces, but as obstacles of our own making. In releasing them, the way opens to the recognition of our true nature, an ever-present reality beneath the illusion of separation. The true work of metaphysical mechanics begins with inner transmutation, which means dissolving the illusion of death by alchemizing the old self through the power of imagination. When the mind dwells continually in the end feeling of already being immortal and whole, the creative law moves into action and the very form of death simply dissolves because it cannot endure that new state of consciousness. From this place of awakened awareness, the sword of spirit emerges as the living principle of transformation. With concentrated focus on the vision and sensation of eternal life, that inner sword severs every shadow of limitation, cutting straight through any outer obstacle until only the clear light of boundless existence remains. As you embrace the empowerment key, allow yourself to recognize that you are the victor, for absolute creative power resides within your consciousness. The very I am that empowered Christ also enlivens your being, and when you align with this divine presence, every fear-based limitation, even death itself, dissolves. To embody this truth more fully, deliberately assume the feeling of victory over death, experiencing peace, invulnerability, and eternal presence, and in doing so you reveal that no outer condition can contradict the reality you hold within. Each evening, as you settle into quiet reflection, gently revisit any moment from the day when fear or a sense of lack arose. In your imagination, transform that memory so it's suffused with eternal life, no grief, no loss, allowing yourself to taste the relief of perfected wholeness. Then, as dawn breaks, greet the new day with a silent declaration. I live in the consciousness of timeless being. All that seemed dead in me now rises in light. Let these words resonate within you before you even open your eyes. Throughout your day, whenever anxiety about endings or change begins to stir, pause for a breath and return to the felt sense of your own immortality. With each of these inner acts, you chip away at what once seemed final, gradually dissolving the greatest obstacle to your divine nature. By regarding death simply as a symbolic hurdle in the mind and steadfastly applying the power of your imaginative faith, you remove the last barrier between your present self and the eternal I am. Hold fast to this victorious state until the old identity melts away, and you will find yourself living in the fullness of your endless being.